everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie, and today we are back with another Dun Mukbang! Woo! Okay, so today I'm excited because I think that I have nailed this fast food combination nonsense, and we are doing Five Guys with Panda Express. So we have like the Five Guys Baconator. I don't know if that's what they call it, but we have a bacon cheeseburger. We've got some crazy hot dogs, a grilled bacon, grilled cheese.
What is that in the back?
That is a bacon grilled cheese. And then we've got a hot dog, a bacon hot dog. And then from Panda Express, we have all sorts of crazy. We've got the beef broccoli, the lo mein, the Beijing beef. We've got the orange chicken, Cajun fries from Five Guys, the chicken egg rolls, and the wontons. And crab ragoons. I'm so sorry. Right. You know what the worst thing is? When you're trying to be like a cool girl. I feel like all of us are kind of branding ourselves into that mysterious girl. Like the girl that you don't really know too much about because she's so cool and like the world doesn't bother her. She's so charismatic, but you can't really put your finger on why. Imagine you're trying to be that girl, that guy, that person, and then you drop your phone. I would break character so fast. I'd be like, oh my God. I would literally be that person, okay? But not anymore because I am really gonna commit to the character now. I can drop my phone down the stair railing. I couldn't care less. My phone drops down the stairs. It's a nice day to watch a downfall. My phone drops onto the cold, hard cement floor. You know what? Life is cold. Okay, sorry, got into too much character. But it's all because of Casetify. Let me introduce you to Casetify's bounce case, the most protective case ever. It's drop test approved up to 21.3 feet in the air, and it's all thanks to their new EcoShock impact absorption technology.
I feel like in like 5 years, it's gonna be like drop from 2,000 feet into space.
It's gonna be YouTubers dropping their phones out of their planes. The corners are super cool. They create structural support and they add rigidity. And the best part is the Casetify phone cases are super protective, but they're equally as pretty. They have over 2,000 prints to choose from, and they work with global art network of artists from all around the world. They have really cool, unique designs. I have not seen a phone case company do phone case designs like Casetify, which is why I love them so much. Their designs are so diverse, and you can see so many different even cultures in the design since they work with so many artists from all around the world. It's just the perfect way to express yourself. I love when a phone case can become a part of your style and like a part of your outfit, rather than just utilitarian. And if you want, you can even customize your phone case to the way that you want it to the T. And all of this comes with a more sustainable phone case. Casetify's phone cases are made with 65% recycled material, and Recasetify, which is their program where they recycle old phone cases, has recycled over 50,000 cases already. So you can enjoy your phone case and feel good about it. So make sure to head over to casetify.com/bis to get 15% off your favorite phone case. I forgot to mention, they also make really cute accessories like this phone strap. Make sure to go to casetify.com/bis for 15% off your new favorite phone case. And thank you, Casetify, for sponsoring today's video. And let's get into it. I'm so excited. Wait, are you more excited for Five Guys or
You know what?
Panda?
Actually, I'm pretty excited for Five Guys.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually am a huge fan of hot dogs. Did you ask me on camera why they're called hot dogs?
Hot dog? Yeah. Why is it called hot dogs? Oh yeah, I already told you.
But I forgot.
What do you mean?
Their tongue comes out when they're hot.
And?
It's pink.
And the hot dog is?
Pink.
No. Because a hot dog looks like a tongue sticking out of the bun.
Oh.
Looks like the tongue of the hot dog.
Like and then it's something else.
I know. Why is it called hot dogs?
Okay. The grilled cheese could be more grilled. Like the cheese is still, you see it? But it's very good. The taste is incredible.
You know what? I might be wrong because
You know what? I don't know. I actually don't know.
maybe that's my own interpretation.
So you just made up some.
I don't know why I keep thinking that's the reason. Actually, I
He
don't know.
said it with his whole chest. He actually dogged on me for not knowing why a hot dog was called a hot dog. And I said, is it because a hamburger is short and a hot dog is like vertical? Which still doesn't make sense. But he's like, no, how do you not know what a hot dog is? Are you not an American? So rude. Okay, do you think that there is a phrase that you could say in this world and just start making a ton of money? Like, you don't have to have a skill set. You don't necessarily have to do anything except for say a magic phrase, like a magic word. Do you think that that exists in this world? It almost sounds like the movie premises, like, oh, if I had a genie, I would tell them every time I say the word love. I'll get $1 million. You don't think it exists in the real world? There's nothing you could say.
One word?
Or a phrase.
You can make a ton of money from one phrase? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know where you're going with this. I'm sure it could be, everybody would be saying it if it works, no? Mm-hmm. And there is a phrase? Mm-hmm. You say it, you make money?
But you can't say it and make money.
I cannot say it?
You cannot. I maybe have like a 25% chance, but our neighbor could probably say it and make a lot of money.
Why? Our neighbor?
Yeah. Our neighbor. Mm-hmm. Nice guy, by the way, but...
Trick question. What is it?
Everything's so yummy.
It so good.
Really?
So good. Still hot and steamy inside.
I feel like it's gotten bigger.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm almost done. I'm gonna get into it. Crab bargoons. I like to bite it.
So what is it? Come on. You keep us hanging. What's the phrase? Just say it.
I can't. I have to give you context first. Once I tell you, I better see all of you on social media screaming this into the skies. I'm kidding. But it only works if you're not Chinese or not East Asian even.
Okay.
Yeah. You're like, okay, whoa, Stephanie,
Whoa.
you're heading into some dangerous waters. What did you just say? Let's talk about the magical words to start your journey of wealth. I sound like one of those guys selling the Amazon FBA courses. I like those real estate courses. I'm like, I swear to you, okay, this is what you do and you make $1 billion. There is no paid for course. Just listen to this video. It's practically a tutorial. And it all starts with an American man. You know this man. I know you know this man. This man is John Cena. It starts with him and his love for ice cream. Bing chilling, okay? This video of John Cena speaking in Chinese went viral recently, and he is talking about ice cream. That's all I got from it when I first watched it without subtitles, because I knew what the word for ice cream was. That's like one of the 5 words that I know in Mandarin.
Yes, what's funny is that exact phrase, Stephanie knows how to say that phrase, and she says it.
All the time.
All the time. She actually says it all the time. Like, 我喜欢冰淇淋. Like, you should have said that.
He copied me.
Yeah, it could have been you. The sensation.
I could have been John Cena.
Yes, you could have been John Cena.
It's basically him in a car with an ice cream cone, and he's looking straight into the camera.
And the amount of Americans who can say the exact phrase perfectly,
astonishing.
It's shocking.
He looks into the camera and he goes, 早上好中国现在我有冰淇淋我很喜欢冰淇淋但是速度 you I gotta stop now. He says it was just some out of nowhere.
早上好中国现在我有冰淇淋我很喜欢冰淇淋但是速度与激情就比冰淇淋速度与激情就我最喜欢所以现在是音乐时间，准备1、2、3，2个礼拜以后，速度与激情就2个礼拜以后，速度与激情就2个礼拜以后，速度与激情就不要忘记，不要错过去电影院看速度与激情就，因为非常好电影。动作非常好，差不多一样，冰淇淋再见。
That America had a field day with this one. Why is John Cena in a car with an ice cream cone and just screaming at us in Mandarin? What the f is going on? Why are we living in a parallel universe? First of all, the fact that he's pandering to a foreign market is kind of hilarious to some, but also his serious tone, his aggressive tone when speaking Chinese, 我喜欢冰淇淋, just mesmerizing, I tell you. People who had never spoken Chinese a day in their life, had never even thought to learn Chinese a day in their life, started memorizing what he had said and started making TikToks, recreating his viral video.
Say it.
冰淇淋
Ice cream? 早上好中国现在我有冰淇淋我喜欢冰淇淋
Honestly, Every time I watch these, I get a giggle, and he's just on the side. The pronunciation is better than you. Amazing pronunciation. What are the comments saying?
We sent these videos to Tiffany. She didn't get it. She was like, okay.
Wait,
Okay.
we sent it to the group chat that we have with our family. Tiffany and Paul go, okay, I don't get what's so funny. And then Dan goes, ooh, I want some ice cream.
Bro, why is nobody on our level of elite humor?
So these videos start going viral, and the whole world was confused. One comment on TikTok said it best. Who is Bing and why is he chilling? But if you look up Bing chilling on TikTok right now, you'll find that collectively, the videos that are making fun of John Cena have been viewed over 1 billion times. But why? Why did John Cena make this infamous video in the first place? Why is a WWE former fighter declaring his undying love for ice cream in Mandarin? Let me give you a quick history on John Cena, because the guy loves China. He really does love China.
He does. He's pretty famous.
Which, side note, do you guys know how John Cena got famous in America to begin with? John Cena got really famous around 2010 when he won the gold belt several times in WWE. And he starts coming up with these catch lines. Like these lines that people could mimic and always associate with him. Like, you can't see me and are you sure about that? I don't know if I'm saying it right. I'm not really sure about it. He went from being a WWE fighter to basically being a part of Hollywood. He starts rubbing shoulders with Hollywood elites. He also claimed to be a rapper, which would land him in a lot of hot water later on because it seemed like he was using hip hop culture to get attention. Anyway, and then somehow he evolved into a comedian of sorts. And he was kind of a troll. I'm not gonna lie. There was this national radio show, and it had a whole bit where they would just prank people with these elaborate prank phone calls. And a man called into the show, and he said that his wife was mad at him because he ordered WWE pay-per-views, and they had this big fight about it where she was like, oh my god, you like WWE more than you like me. How much did you spend? $30. Like, she was so mad. It was so expensive. It was so time consuming. So what does this amazing, loving, smart, wants to stay alive and stay breathing husband do? He called the radio show. He's like, hello? I want you to prank call my wife, and I need it to be about WWE. And they did it. And they start calling her, and every time this poor woman picked up, there was a normal, rational person on the line. She'd be like, hello? Hi, is this Champ? Can we speak to Champ, please? Oh, there's no one here by that name. Champ? Oh, Champ's not there? Who is Champ? Who's calling? Who is Champ? And then the John Cena theme song would play, and they'd say, find out who's the champ this Saturday on pay-per-view WWE fight. Who's your champ?
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Champ?
Who?
Champ? Is Champ there?
Who is Champ?
That question will be answered this Sunday night! Cena defends the belt!
Listen,
and WWE Super Slam!
Hey, sir!
Taking on
Please
Sheamus!
quit calling my house!
The Undertaker!
Quit calling me!
She was pissed. This went on for a series of phone calls. This woman could not catch a break. At first, she was pretty courteous, just telling them, please, I'm not interested about WWE. Please don't call me back. But they would trick her into taking more and more calls. And then the radio host called one more time, and she was pissed. She lost it. And of course, they were like, so you don't want to support our American troops? And she's like, oh my God, I thought this was, no, that's not what I'm saying. I thought it was like a WWE call. And then finally, they were like, John Cena's role in the Marines movie. Support your troops. Like, it was a whole show. But it all ended okay for some reason. The wife took it all in good spirit and did not decapitate her husband, which, I don't know. Very big of her, okay? But these prank calls really cemented John Cena's place in pop culture. He went from just being a WWE guy to a full-blown celebrity. People were captivated. These prank calls had over 52 million views on YouTube. But with attention comes division, you know? Some people really hated John Cena. Some people found him obnoxious. Others, they had legitimate reasons. Here are the reasons. Some people didn't like him for using hip-hop culture to gain attention. Some people didn't like that he was kind of like a puppet for higher up executives. Like it felt like he just knew how to kiss ass. And that's why he was getting a lot more push from the industry. Some people hated the fact that he took WWE into this like weird animated comical show, like a bizarre reality show. I don't know, right? And some just said that he was a wrestler. But regardless of what you think of John Cena, in May 2021, John Cena posted a short video on a Chinese platform similar to TikTok called Weibo. And he's eating ice cream in the cart in China.
Weibo is like Twitter.
Twitter. My apologies, Chinese man. Basically, the video doesn't go viral in the US until later, but he says, the famous words. But they translate to, "Good morning, China. Now I have ice cream. I like ice cream a lot, but I like Fast and the Furious more than I like ice cream. So it's music time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. This is all in Chinese. Fast and the Furious in 2 weeks. Fast and the Furious in 2 weeks. Don't forget, don't miss it. Watch Fast and the Furious at the cinema because it's so good."
Oh, so this video was out like a couple years ago. Yeah, you said 2021, right?
Yeah.
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 I thought it was a new video.
No.
Oh, it just went viral out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh. That's why I was saying, I didn't know there's a Fast and Furious coming out. When I saw this trending on TikTok, I saw the full video. I was like, oh, maybe I should watch it.
You should watch it.
It's an old video.
What's even wilder is that John Cena trying to get Chinese viewers is not the first or the last time Hollywood was trying to get on China's good side. There's a whole backstory to this. So basically, China has a lot of citizens with a lot of buying power. That's what it's called, right? And they are movie watchers. Chinese people do love movies. Is that a stereotype? Did I just make a
I
stereotype?
think everyone loves movies.
Everyone loves movies, but AMC is a Chinese company, if you guys did not know that. They do be loving movies, but because of trade relations and China's own reasons for promoting their own movie industry, China only allows in about 34 foreign movies a year to be shown in Chinese theaters.
34?
About 34 on average per year. And this is big. This is like an underground politics game that a lot of people don't know about, but everyone in Hollywood is typically dying to be shown in China because that means a lot more profits, a lot. For example, Fast and the Furious 9, the movie that John Cena was promoting in that Bing Chilling video, would go on to gross $136 million the first weekend in China, which is double North America's opening weekend.
Wow.
But not without scandal first. And if you think it's just Fast and the Furious doing this, apparently most movies want to get into China. Like if you're produced by the big Marvel, Disney, Universal, Warner Bros., they're all trying to get into China. And it's almost like a guessing game of what China wants to see. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but a lot of movies have random scenes shot in various parts of China. Like randomly, you'll have an action hero in Macau. And they're just like in Macau for 2 seconds, or in Shanghai, or Hong Kong, or Beijing, and it will typically display the city as the futuristic place, which don't get me wrong, China is super futuristic from what I hear. Like their cities are really well put together tech-wise. Everything is like mobile and automated. It's crazy, right? But apparently they'll go and shoot there in hopes that if they have a scene in China, their movie will be featured in China. Wow. Even Iron Man 3 and Independence Day Resurgence, Pacific Rim Uprising, these crazy action movies, it's alleged that the screenwriters literally put in a random Chinese scene. Just for this aspect. Like it wasn't necessarily for the plot. Various other Transformer and Marvel movies allegedly do this. They write in shots to be filmed in China so that they would have a higher chance of being admitted to be screened in China. And a lot of the times these days, you won't see a ton of Chinese antagonists anymore. Chinese villains.
Yeah.
Unless they're presented as futuristic, light years ahead of everyone else type of villains. Because China won't let it screen in their country. Yeah. They're also very sensitive to other things. So you know the movie Top Gun Maverick, and this has to do with John Cena in a little bit. So Top Gun Maverick was killing it, but it's a remake of a movie from like 30 years ago. So in the original film from 30 years ago, there's a bunch of flags on the main character's jacket. So there's the US flag, Japan's flag, and Taiwan's flag on the back of the jacket. And in the remake, this recent remake, it's the US flag and a bunch of other like symbols that makes no sense. And so, yeah. So using a Chinese crew or having a Chinese actor or actress appear in your film, which, side note, even Chinese people get really annoyed by this because these Hollywood movies will give roles to really talented, really famous, really good Chinese actresses and actors and then give them like no lines. So they're basically what China calls flower vases to look pretty in the background. Yes, and to get into China to show their movie, but it's not even showcasing the actor or actress's real talent or skill, but they'll literally do it just to try and get into China. So it's really complicated, but it seems like very quickly Hollywood has become so intertwined with China that it's almost become this kind of game, this little dance that they do, right? Why is this important? After the Bing Chilling video, John Cena posted another video, but this one had a completely different tune.
你好，中国，这是叫西娜。我必须说，现在，在《速度与激情》中，我做很多采访，很多，所以在一个采访，我有一个错误，所有人问我，如果我可以用中文，速度与激情中人给我很多资讯 information。所以很多采访，很多 information，我有一个错误，我必须说现在就是很重要，我爱更尊重中国跟中国人，我很抱歉对我的错误，对不起，我很抱歉，你必须了解，我很爱，很尊重中国跟中国人，不好意思，再见。
In this one, he was apologizing pretty profusely, and it was bizarre if you had no context. Like, it's really random, because he was apologizing to a whole country, which is very rare. So it made no sense, but the reaction to this apology video, I mean, some hated him, some didn't. Basically, he's like, I love China. Sorry for insulting the Chinese people. I really love China. He just kept repeating those words. So if you had no idea why he was apologizing, it's really bizarre. So the reaction to this apology video, some people hated him for it. Typically Americans and Taiwanese people. Meanwhile, a lot of mainland Chinese people were like, okay, we forgive you. And it's because in an interview, John Cena excitedly said, and I quote, Taiwan will be the first country to show Fast and the Furious 9. And if you know what's going on with China and Taiwan, you know that's already gonna land him in a lot of hot boiling water. He was basically a frog that was about to get cooked to death. The backlash was so swift, people started immediately freaking out. And again, it's suspected that Universal fought really hard to get Fast and the Furious 9 into China. So Universal has not commented on whether they knew that he was going to apologize or they told him to apologize. It's up for debate. But John Cena posted a formal apology. And this is what he said, and I quote, I love and respect China and the Chinese people. I'm sorry for my mistake. I'm very sorry. I love and respect China and the Chinese people. Forgive me. So a lot of Americans and Taiwanese people did not like this apology. I mean, it was clear that he was apologizing to China in order to ensure the success of the movie and not lose his audience there. Which, like, side note, one thing I want to mention is that sometimes things can get really tricky if, like, let's say you have, like, a Chinese-American actress or a celebrity, for example. It's so much harder for them to navigate the relations between America and China because if you have family in China, you're no longer just a singular person speaking whatever's on your mind. You have to think about everything and anything that could impact your family, right? So it's not just about you and your image. Whereas people like John Cena, a lot of people were like, you're literally saying that so you can make money. So it's kind of like, I don't know how to feel about it. So netizens, though, they thought it was hilarious. So they turned John Cena into a meme, and this is where a new nickname came out. Instead of John Cena, they called him John Cena. And then they would Photoshop him next to President Xi. Oh. And they called him John Cena. Ooh. Yeah. So they also made memes about how social credit was now through the roof. So that is the Bing Chilling scandal. You'd be looking nervous over there. Huh? You'd be looking nervous over there.
I'm chilling.
So we're Bing Chilling. So just so you know, it does seem like John Cena does indeed love ice cream, though. That part didn't seem to be a lie. Look at him. He likes his ice cream. Anyway, you're like, okay, what? I sat through this. What does this have to do with magic words to money bits? It is quite simple. Even Chinese people are annoyed by this phenomenon, and they're upset by it too because it's wildly obnoxious. But the way to wealth is to say on social media, I love China. Okay, you're like, what the fork is this girl saying? Let me give you some examples. Let me give you some proof in the pudding. Meet our buddy Vlad. Vlad is Russian. He's born and raised in Russia. But ever since he was a kid, He allegedly said that he had an obsession with China, all things China, okay? He said it started with Chinese food, and then it went to Chinese culture, and then eventually China as a whole. He went to Chinese classes when he was 10 years old. He told his mom he loved Chinese so much that he wanted to go out of his way to transfer to a different high school that offered Chinese lessons. And his life goal was to move to China one day. And he finally made it happen. When he was 18, he gets accepted into Beijing Language Culture University. He moves to China to go to college. It was a culture shock. Look, it is one thing to know and love a culture, and then it's a completely different thing living there for the rest of your life. But he quickly adapts. He starts falling more and more in love with China. Like, look, this is normal. This is fine. There's a ton of people right now that might feel this way about Korea since Korea is like hyped right now. But Vlad works really hard, and in school he meets a Korean-Australian woman named Ryla. She's 25 years older than him. They fall in love, and they're both super, super smart.
She's 25 older?
Yeah, years older.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They
And
fell
they're
in
married?
love. Yeah.
Wow.
They graduated top and third of their classes. Well, and when they graduated, both of them decided to stay in China and try to make a mark of themselves. Vlad briefly worked for a trading company. Then he saved up all of his money and started a steamed bun restaurant. It was a failure. Yeah, I'm sorry. But he was in debt at this point, and then it was just tragedy after tragedy. Ryla was diagnosed with a terminal disease. Fortunately, her surgery was a success, but she would forever be on medications, and she would never be able to conceive a child. But despite all of this, the two are still so passionate about each other, about their lives. They even made traditional decorations for Chinese New Year, or for Spring Festival, they would like make their own moon cakes and stuff, or from the Moon Festival. It felt like these two were genuinely passionate about being happy and fulfilled in their lives in China. I mean, it's so respectable. So in 2018, they get married, and Vlad starts working for this wine business. And as a way to attract more clients, he's like, why don't I start posting on Douyin, right? And even if I post videos about my knowledge of wine, I mean, it could help people, and that could promote my business. It's a good business model. But it really didn't take off like he imagined. He was just a normal-looking guy making normal-looking wine tasting videos. There wasn't really a viral quality about it. He wasn't doing, last person to let go of the wine bottle wins $1 million. He was just like, this is really good wine. And it just wasn't viral content. He would make these videos nonstop though, but still very few views. It said that his followers were in the single digit count, like 9. And his wine business failed after a few months of him trying to hold on there, right? Vlad was stressed, overworked, and then he got the call. His mom would be visiting China for the first time. And he thought, okay, at least I can try to spend some time with her and get my thoughts together. And since he's already making these Daoyings, he's naturally started vlogging his day, almost for TikTok. Like he's talking about how his Russian mom was coming to China to visit, how she had never tried all these Chinese foods. He was going around showing her everything. Like these videos were a motherfucking hit. It's like whenever people go to other countries, like Anna Paul's TikToks even, I don't know why I'm so obsessed with them. Like it's just a recipe for success when a foreigner goes to a foreign country and is trying their foods and is very respectful and is like enjoying with their time there, right? That's what happened to Vlad. A lot of people in China were genuinely curious. What does a middle-aged Russian woman think of our country and our food and culture? Like, that's so random. We want an unfiltered look, right? It was so fascinating to comment on things that they take for granted in their daily lives. They're like, oh, that's completely normal. And here's Vlad and his mom being like, we don't have this in Russia. This is crazy. This is very cool, right? So cool. Vlad gains 1 million followers in just 1 week.
Wow.
He started sharing more and more videos, and he just seemed so genuine. His mom was cute. Everybody fell in love. And so once after his mom left China, he stayed on the same topic of China. He did not go back to wine. He's like, hey, if it works. And he's trying new things that he's never tried before in China by himself. He's like, oh, foreigner tries da-da-da-da for the first time. It was cool, but he ran out of content. He ran out.
What do you mean? He tried everything?
He pretty much tried everything, like chocolate hot pot. Bro, I went through a weird hot pot
Chocolate
phase
hot
too.
pot?
Yeah.
Chocolate hot pot. What is that?
But he was desperate to sustain his growth and his livelihood. And, viewers were kind of getting sick of the whole spiel.
Next
So,
video, Stephanie. Chocolate hot pot mukbang.
So,
It might happen, guys.
yeah, how many times can I eat Panda Express? You know what I mean? So Vlad, he starts talking about China as a whole, and it starts getting really weird. He only talks about China in his videos. Like, his whole video is just him talking other countries, including his home country of Russia, and being like, look at how modern this is. China does it best. One time, after getting a haircut, the guy literally said,
Great, my China.
After his haircut, like it literally doesn't even make sense. A haircut is a haircut, no matter where you go, no? It seemed like he was a spokesperson for China and nothing else. Like he lost his whole personality to China. And it seemed like he was leaning into it to get more views. Like, even for his wedding day, they had Chinese hot pot because he raved about Chinese hot pot. He was, like, known for hot pot. They even had a hot pot cake, and they dropped it on the ground by accident. And without hesitation, both of them squat down on the ground. Ryla in her wedding dress, him in his, like, full suit, and start eating the cake off the ground in their wedding clothes. And sure, they're not eating the parts that were touching the ground, but it was kind of strange to see. Like, it definitely looked very... Like, you know when someone's playing something up for views?
Yeah.
Or like they're like making a salad in the sink.
What are the viewers saying? Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to get there. And his viewers that used to support him.
What about salad? You were saying salad.
Oh, there's like TikTokers who make salads in the sink. So they'll throw lettuce in there and cheese and they'll mix it like a bowl. But they use the sink and it's like, you know, they're doing it for the views because you just know. That's not a hack. So he went from being a normal dude to kind of staring wildly into the camera nonstop, and he had this like exaggerated expression to everything, like literally like hey guys, hello China! Like that was kind of the vibe. He even talked about when he was growing up, he wanted to be Chinese. So it went from he wanted to come to China to I wanted to be Chinese.
虽然我国籍是国外的，但是我是中国人，我心里是中国人。
He would say things like, our China is so awesome. Our China is so awesome because we have face pay. Our China is so great we can order a taxi via the phone. But like same in America, so I'm not sure.
我们中国真的太厉害了，现在手机里面什么事都能搞定，出门打车直接在手机里打，很快就到你家门口。在我们中国生活真的太方便了，就是这种自助收银，真的不用排队，很新奇又很快。
He would start a ton of sentences with us Chinese people or end videos with I want to be Chinese. But it worked. Vlad gained nearly 7 million followers on Douyin and ranked number 5 of foreign influencers in China. I think as of right now, he has nearly 14 million followers. But a lot of people suspect that most of his audience are older people. Like nobody his age or younger is watching what is going on because, yeah, it seems like a lot of elderly people that weren't exposed to a lot of foreigners are fascinated. The younger people think that he's very obnoxious and almost patronizing. It's almost like to a point where it feels condescending or like gross.
Yeah.
我们中国的开水真的太万能了，感冒了多喝开水，天气太冷了喝开水，天气太热也多喝开水。天哪，刚来中国的时候我满头问号，开水难道这么神奇吗？但后来发现，妈呀，真的这么神奇。
So the younger generations all comment, Vlad uses his magic words to wealth to death. Someone commented, please input the password. Vlad's password, I love China. Correct, Vlad. Your Alipay will now receive $15 million. Vlad also claims that he only uses a Huawei phone, which is like Chinese version of Apple. But in another phone, he was seen using an iPhone. It got to the point where even foreigners were mocking him. So there was this one TikToker, I forget where he's from, but he was like opening his eyes like this, going, I love China. And originally, people were very offended because they thought that he was mocking Asians. But in fact, he was mocking Vlad because Vlad has like, he almost never blinks in his videos, it seems. And he opens his eyes very wide in all of his videos while he's basically screaming, I love China. So Vlad posted a response where he said, am I wrong to love China? I love China for real. I only took sponsorships after getting popular through my daily life videos, but I never shouted, I love China for money. And he's hoping to get his Chinese green card soon. His wife also has her own account where she tries on Chinese silk dresses, and she now has 2 million followers. Even Vlad's parents have accounts on Chinese platforms. Too? Yeah. And there's still some scandals around Vlad. Chinese people are starting to be thrown off by him, and they're starting to feel frustrated because they genuinely love their culture more than he does, and they have ties to China, and they work hard to produce quality content every single day, and all he has to do is scream I love China at his phone and become popular. But other foreigners who live in China, they're also upset because they think that Vlad is making them look bad. One foreigner wrote a diss track on Vlad, and the lyrics said, you know Chinese, but you have no decency. Ass kisser of China has been online, refusing to recognize your home country for popularity. But Vlad is not the first foreigner to do this. Do you know who Bart Baker is? If you guys have been on YouTube for a really long time, okay? Bart Baker is like an OG YouTuber. He was the most notable for coming up with like these big skits back in the day, like super edgy content where he would mock celebrities like Taylor Swift and all these people. And he posted really questionable videos, you know, in hindsight. His most watched video has like almost 200 million views, but YouTube went through adpocalypse and they start cracking down on vulgar videos and vulgar content. And the algorithm hated anyone that was too edgy. So Bart basically lost his income. And Bart told Vice, my videos used to be fine on YouTube. In fact, the more edgier, the better. Fast forward a year and a half later, I'm super miserable, going to a therapist. Like, you don't even know how many YouTubers are depressed. That's what he told Vice. So it was at this time, he gets reached out by a Chinese influencer company. They're like, hey, sign a contract with us. You have to learn Chinese. You know, maybe one day you'll move to China. But we want you to start learning Chinese, sing some songs in Chinese. We're gonna post them on Chinese websites. And by the 10th month of him joining Chinese social media, he had over 10 million followers. Ooh. 1 million followers a month. A lot of that was due in part to the fact that he would sing a ton of patriotic songs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just like the visual contrast of that.
Speaking of visual, he actually had dark colored hair, but he dyed his hair blonde to fit into the more foreign aesthetic that East Asians believe is a foreigner.
Yeah, it's just shocking to see that. It's like viral content, right?
It's like the content of the guy that's like ordering in full Korean. He's the white guy who's like ordering in full Chinese at Chinese restaurants and like getting their reaction and they're all surprised.
Yeah.
So I guess, you know, naturally it's shocking, right?
Yeah.
He would write Chinese songs which were not lyrically genius. Bart admits that he would just Google translate words into Chinese and try to make it rhyme. Or sometimes his management would send him lyrics and he had no idea what it even meant. But he would just sing it. And later he moved from LA to China. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and he was no stranger to the words of wealth. There's a video of him in front of the Huawei store.
Huawei.
Yeah, and picking up his new Huawei phone, and he's mesmerized. He's like, wow, it's so beautiful. And then he dramatically smashes his iPhone onto the ground and steps on it while screaming, I love
Huawei! He's getting paid by Huawei, right?
Oh yeah, which like, you would do a too for a check.
What kind of ad is that?
Apparently, his rate is nearly $120,000 a video.
Ooh la la.
I love Huawei! The guy is making so much money. His rate is probably more now. But it's speculated, again, for the case of Vlad and Bart, their audience runs a bit older because they often get trolled by younger audiences for being sellouts, essentially. Especially for Gen Z, it's not an admirable trait to denounce your own home country for money. Yeah. It's one thing to respect and love and admire all cultures, but like it just gives sellout vibes. Now here's where things get wild, and why I think most of Vlad and Bart's fans are older people. A Russian influencer starts going viral on Douyin. Her name is Russian Nana, and she talked about how she was Russian, but she loves China. She said that she wants to marry a Chinese man. She said that in Russia, women have to work hard every day while men drink and smoke, but in China, you have to do nothing because your husband insists on doing everything for you. And she says, Russian girls, come on, come to China and marry a Chinese man. She continued, do you know how many more girls there are in Russia than boys? There will still be beautiful single girls if a boy marries 5 girls. For their daughters to get married, not only will Russian mothers not ask you for a bride price, but they'll gift you a car and a house just to marry their daughter. She said that she could play a matchmaker and introduce all the unmarried men in China with all the beautiful unmarried women in Russia. And she would even post videos of herself singing Chinese songs. She was taking sponsorship. She was doing really well for herself. She would say things like, if you buy 2 bottles of vodka using my link and 2 bottles of honey, you will make your Russian father-in-law very, very happy. It'll be no problem for him to give you his daughter as a gift and a house and a car. Okay, this is very much giving me like old people energy to watch that, because I would imagine Gen Zs would be like, gift you a daughter? Gift you a daughter? So this is where people start getting suspicious. In her singing videos, people start noticing that when she spoke Chinese, her talking, her accent was prominent, but it was like too prominent. It was like someone pretending to have an accent. They thought that it's sounds like someone who knows Chinese but is pretending to not speak Chinese well.
So she speaks fluent Chinese?
Yeah, it's like me trying to butcher my English, right?
Yeah.
And then when she was singing, her Chinese was perfect, even better than native speakers. So it was very weird. And whenever she was asked to speak Russian in her lives, she always like super hesitant. And even when she spoke Russian, people who were fluent in Russian was like, you don't sound fluent at all. You sound like you just learned Russian. And then finally one video, she was live. And she's moving the camera around too fast.
No.
It was a fucking
Filter?
face swap filter with
She's Chinese? Oh my god.
He's Chinese.
Oh my gosh.
So
Wow.
it's not a Russian woman or a Chinese woman, but a Chinese man who was using a face filter to appear like a Russian woman. And the controversy was so big, it started trending. And then finally, Nana deleted all of her videos and changed her name to Russian Gigi. She said, "You people say I look like a foreigner. The platform has provided a big stage for us to perform, and I perform as a foreigner. That's my talent. And everyone can be happy, it's not that serious." Basically, he tried to play it off as he's doing this to entertain everyone, and the netizens are taking it way too seriously. And he just kept making new accounts pretending to be a Russian woman, and other people started joining in to get followers to the point where Russian AI face swaps were banned on Chinese social media apps. But each time a new account came up, people would believe it. And it said it's a lot of older people who didn't know about face swapping or filters and genuinely believed this was a Russian woman who loved China. So here we are. Would you use the beautiful words to wealth like Vlad, Bart, and even John Cena? It's wild. I would never because I have morals. 现在我有冰淇淋, but that's it for today's video. What are your thoughts on this show? What are your thoughts on Bing Chilling? Please practice your Bing Chilling lines, and I want to see those TikToks, okay? But I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Make sure to check out Casetify, linked in the description. Bye.